8.1 XFM Tauranga Hit Music Station. Also, another sponsored episode of Mike Time with Marty. Jets Car Grooming from all the way from Tauranga. If you want your car skin span, just go to Jets Car Grooming. I have got a comedy magician, improv musician, and political junkie who is the national first VP of the Australian Magic Society. So say hello,
That's the Society of American Magicians.
Society of American Magicians. So say hello to John Sturk.
Hi, everybody. I'm John Sturk. And like Marty said, I am the first VP of the Society of American Magicians. We are the oldest magic society in the world, founded in 1902. And I'm talking to you today from my home in Chicago.
Woo, and I'm talking from good old New Zealand. So, all right. So, John, how did you get started into doing comedy magic?
Well, I was always interested in comedy and performing when I was a kid. I wrote, apparently, when I was in the third grade, I wrote an essay about how I wanted to be a comedian.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I was in my first year at university that I discovered magic. And I just really took to it, just sort of a natural. Uh, and It's a hobby that's gotten way out of control.
And then I see you've got a piano behind you, improv
hmm
music.
So I started playing music when I was also in the second grade, third grade, and my dad was a trumpet player,
Hmm.
and I originally started wanting to play the saxophone, jazz saxophone. Um, but my parents convinced me to start with piano, learn about music, and then take up saxophone when I hit middle school, a couple years later.
Hmm.
There was a lady across the street, our neighbor across the street, taught piano, so it was easy to start with that. And again, I just soaked it up, and it's my primary instrument today. So I play piano and organ, Hammond
Oh.
organ,
Hmm.
and I'm an official artist for the Hammond Organ Company, which is based in Chicago.
Wow. Okay, this is a question I ask everyone that can play piano. Can you play Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen?
Not by heart. I bet I could read it if
Yeah.
I had the sheet music, but no, I don't. I don't know it by heart.
Okay, fair enough. I always ask that for people that play piano because Queen's just amazing to me. Um, and political junkie, what does that mean?
So again, when I was in school, in high school, I became really interested in politics and government. We have a class at the time. We There was a required class that would teach you about civics and the systems of government, how American government works, and I got just really interested in it to the point where I started volunteering on some political campaigns when I was a student. Um, and then later, I did internships for the state government where I lived in Michigan at the time.
Mhm.
And then later, I did an internship in Washington in the House of Representatives, and I absolutely loved it. And although I'm not so active in politics anymore, I still follow it very closely and always keep up on the latest news. Plus, I started to get interested in other uh, systems of government.
Mhm.
So I like, for example, I like to watch the British Parliament
Mhm.
and the Canadian Parliament. Just it's fascinating to me the differences in the process.
Okay. Have you ever looked at the New Zealand Parliament?
I believe it's the Westminster system. Is that right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Super fun. We're actually currently in level 4 lockdown. So, yay.
So we're not really in a lockdown here in Chicago at the moment, but I can't help but notice we're both speaking from our bedrooms. So
Yes,
still similarities across the pond.
totally. So, of course, doing magic, what magicians have you met?
What magicians have I met?
Mhm.
I've met many magicians, many of my personal magic heroes. So when I started doing magic in about 2003, I learned about that there's such a thing as a magic convention,
Mhm.
where you could spend a weekend or a couple more days than that, just learning from other magicians. Oftentimes, magicians will come and present their lecture, which means they will teach you their magic, along with, and they could have products for sale like books and DVDs or props. And the conventional wisdom is that magicians never tell their tricks,
Hmm.
which really isn't true. We love telling our tricks, but we only do it amongst ourselves. So the main rule is we're not interested in sharing our tricks to people who don't have a sincere interest in learning the art.
Mm.
The difference would be if I did a trick and you went and looked it up on Wikipedia just to know how it works, or because you were seriously interested in learning and performing the trick yourself.
Okay. So, how does viewing comedy magic the music? How do you kind of differentiate the two different categories? Because like doing comedy and magic, you've got your cards and that, but then with music, you it's just you and piano.
Well, it's actually rarely just me and a piano.
Hmm.
Usually, so sometimes I play jazz in a duo. My friend Steve is a guitar player,
Hmm.
and we will play the shows together. In which case, occasionally I get up on the mic to say, "Thank you for coming tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Steve on the guitar. My name is John," and I'll crack a few jokes, um, which have migrated over from my magic act.
Hmm.
And then I also play here in Chicago. We are the capital of improv in America. So you may have heard of places like the Second City,
Hmm.
IO, the formerly known as the Improv Olympic. Those are places that I've played the piano as an accompanist to live improv. So it would be like if you were composing the score for a movie while you were watching the movie.
Okay. All right. Well, just by looking at me, what kind of instrument do you think I play?
Drums, French horn,
No,
uh, uh, bass.
correct.
Ah, okay, I got it.
I've been
I'm
doing
not much of a mentalist, as you can tell.
I was doing bass when I was about 8. Now I'm 19, so
Now, the difference for me when I play the organ, stuff like this, my left hand is the bass player.
hmm.
So a typical organ trio would be guitar, drums, and organ.
Hmm.
And no bass, because my left hand and when I have my full organ, I have bass pedals as well.
Yes.
So my left hand and my left foot play bass.
So, if you could meet any jazz musician, who would it be?
Living or dead?
Let's go both.
Ah, boy. Well, I've gotten to meet him a couple times, just like, handshake and a picture, but never really get to have a deep chat with him.
Hmm.
The greatest organ player, his name is Joey DiFrancesco,
Hmm.
and he is the greatest living organ player. He can play like nobody else alive. And it would be nice to at least, other than like an autograph and a picture, just to have a deeper chat with him
Yeah.
about the craft. And I guess, you know, jazz musician of all time, I probably would like to meet Duke Ellington,
Okay.
who wrote many songs that have become jazz standards, like
Hmm.
songs that everybody in the business knows. Um, I've never really had a gift for writing music, so it fascinates me how he was able to be such a prolific composer.
Okay. Same question when it comes to comedy magic. If you could meet anyone, who would it be?
Well, again, I would say I'm fortunate. I've gotten to meet a lot of my comedy magic heroes and have deeper chats with them.
Hmm.
People like David Williamson, um, Mike Caveney. But I suppose some of the magicians who I never quite got to meet or have deeper chats with, I did get to meet Tom Mullica
Hmm.
once. But again, just cursory handshake and a picture. He would have been somebody I would have liked to have a deeper talk with about the craft of bar magic. And someone who I never got to meet, passed away long, before I was born, a fellow by the name of Matt Schulian,
Hmm.
who basically pioneered close-up magic as we know it today as an art form in his bar here in Chicago that
Hmm.
was called Schulian's. It was a he started performing magic close up and table to table for his customers sometime in the 1920s, and that's when we started the what we know today as restaurant magic or strolling magic.
Hmm.
A lot of magicians do it as their bread and butter these days. So he was one of the very first to, instead of just doing a one-off trick out of your pocket, to really make it a full act. So I would have liked to have seen him and talked to him.
Okay. So, of course, there's different styles of magic. There's cards, there's mind reading, there's hypnosis. What's your favorite style of magic?
Well, I guess my favorite style to watch is actually the illusions,
Hmm.
the big box stuff. And the reason is because I don't really know that stuff. That stuff fools me pretty good.
Hmm.
It's just I never had the occasion to work with big boxes and assistants and all that stuff because I'm just one guy and I live in a small apartment in Chicago. I don't have any place to put those giant boxes. So that stuff fools me pretty good. I really do like watching that.
Okay. All right. Well, John, this is a recurring segment I have in my show. It's called Quick Fire Questions, where basically I'm going to ask you some questions. You've got to answer them as quickly as you can.
All right, hit me.
All right. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? The Blues Brothers. It's
Hmm.
Chicago based and very musical.
Okay. Coke or Sprite?
Coke.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Oh, summer.
If you could pick one celebrity to meet, who would it be?
Ooh boy. I'm gonna say Ryan Reynolds. I think I'd do some magic for him. I think we'd hit it off.
Okay. Cool. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Superpower. Oh boy. Boy, I've thought about this a lot in my years. I'm gonna have to go with teleportation.
Okay. Why did you pick that?
Uh, just to be able to be in more places and to be able to travel a lot easier
Mm-hmm.
um, and faster. The one of the reasons I don't get to travel very much, I do work a full time job, so uh, you have to wait for your time off to accrue,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could actually go somewhere, and then it's expensive to travel. So if I could just pop places, that would be much easier.
Okay. How do you have your coffee?
Black,
Okay. Sunset or sunrise?
sunset.
Okay. Um, who's one politician that you wish would never have gone into politics?
I think there's about half of our country that would all give you the same answer.
Okay. Let's go with if you had to pick one place in the world to go visit, where would you go?
Ooh boy. Um, well, I have for a long time been wanting to visit London.
Hmm.
For a couple reasons. Again, political junkie, and I like to watch Parliament on YouTube. So I'd love to visit Westminster, but also to visit the Magic Circle.
Okay. What's your thoughts on magic from back in the day, from like the likes of Harry Houdini and Penn and Teller to now having the likes of Shin Lim, Matt Franco, Justin Flom?
It's pretty amazing, isn't it, how magic has simultaneously gotten smaller and gotten bigger.
Hmm.
I mean, in Houdini's day, before there were television, before there was even talkie films,
Mm,
it was just silent films back then. Um, for him to be able to do the kind of shows he did, they had to be big shows.
yes.
But nowadays, you can do a very, very tiny show, like Shin Lim does, very close up, and with your camera, with your phone, you can get that seen by more people than Houdini ever could have done
Mm-hmm.
in years of touring the country. Um, it's amazing to think what Houdini would say about the way that we watch magic these days.
Do you ever dabble in the daredevil side of magic?
No, I don't because I'm a coward. So I'm not gonna. It's cool to watch. The upside down straitjacket escape from a helicopter. I'm gonna pass. I will. I'll stick to cards.
Okay. What was the first ever card trick that you learned?
Probably the first one was out of a book called The Royal Road to Card Magic.
Mhm.
When I started magic in college, I stumbled upon a magic club in the town where I went to school, and some of the old timers there told me to get two books. They told me to get Royal Road to Card Magic
Mhm.
and Bobo's Modern Coin Magic, and to start with those. So that's what I did.
Alright. Well, John, here's your chance for redemption. You get to ask me some quick fire questions. I have to answer them as quickly as I can. You can be as difficult as you want.
Okay, okay. How about this? Uh, Deep dish pizza or thin crust?
Thin crust.
Okay. Uh, uh, Boats or trains?
Boats.
Okay. Um, how about summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay. All right. Um, and DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Oh, okay. Very good. And let's see. How many do we got left?
Let's do three more.
Three more. Okay. Let's see. Cards or fire?
I gotta go with cards.
Okay, fair, fair. How about uh, sitcoms or dramas?
Sitcoms. Last one.
Okay, last one. How about uh, Metallica or Rolling Stones?
Metallica.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so, John, there is 52 cards in a deck of cards. What would you say is your favorite card?
I'm gonna go with the Three of Diamonds.
Okay, why'd you pick that?
Well, it's just a nice symmetrical number.
Hmm.
It's a easily recognizable card.
I'd probably go generic and just pick like something like the Ace of Clubs. Okay, well, John, you mentioned that you've got some magic tricks you want to show us.
Yeah, it's funny you mention the your favorite card is the Ace of Clubs.
Hmm.
It's funny you should mention that because I do have a deck right here. Now I'll give you the chance. Do you want to change your mind for what is your favorite card?
I'll go 10 of diamonds.
The Ten of Diamonds.
Hmm.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. I want you to look at me, and I'm doing this very slowly and totally within the camera frame here.
Hmm.
See, there was one card. That I had turned upside down in this deck. And if you can see it right there, it is indeed the Ten of Diamonds. And I'm really glad that you were able to settle on that. No, really, because the rest of these cards are all completely blank.
Oh,
So really, really lucky that you landed on that one.
The weird thing is, I changed my mind. So, oh,
That was close.
that was close. Um, how long did it take you to learn that?
That one didn't take that all long to learn. Um, but it's the creation of another one of my favorite magicians, who I've gotten to meet a couple times. So that's why I like doing it.
Okay, so
It's a good trick for Zoom, as you can see.
it is. I'm still baffled how you did it. So you mentioned behind you, above your piano, there is something from Harry Houdini.
Right. So I mentioned the Society of American Magicians,
Mhm.
oldest magic association in the world, founded in 1902 in New York. Harry Houdini was not our first president, but he was our longest serving president. He was our president from 1916 until his death in 1926. And when he became president, obviously he was still touring the country. So while he was doing that, he was able to start establishing new chapters of the SAM in places that he toured at. Chicago was his third was our third chapter. So we're at number 3. We call them assemblies, not chapters.
Mm.
So this is our official charter, establishing us as a assembly of the Society of American Magicians. This is the original one, right here. I'll read it just briefly. It says, "To all magicians throughout the 2 hemispheres, greeting this to certify that these charter members shall constitute an assembly under the name of Chicago Assembly Number 3, signed August 14th, 1919." Okay, and right here at the bottom, I'll see if you can see this. It's got right there Harry Houdini,
Yeah.
President. So this, I get to keep it in my house. It's not mine. I just kind of get to take care of it. Because as you can see, it's very rare, especially for an assembly as old as ours, to still have this document. A lot of them have been lost.
Yes.
Um, but we still have it. We take good care of it. We put it in a special frame to make sure it's preserved. And I try to take care of it as best as I can.
Okay. So,
Now, now, just because we're the Society of American Magicians, it doesn't mean that you have to be American to join us.
mm,
Anybody can join us. You just visit magicsam.com, and you can sign up for membership. We have our monthly magazine that we publish. We have local chapters, not just in the U.S., but also Canada, some places in Europe. But if you don't have a chapter, an assembly near you, it's okay because we have an all online assembly that meets once a month over Zoom. So you can meet with magicians all over the world once a month, learn, share tricks, and grow as a magician.
sounds like a dream come true.
Yeah, I might want to send you my personal referral link, Marty.
Ooh.
And like you mentioned, I'm the national first vice president.
hmm
In about 18 months, in June of 2023, not this June, next June, I will become the national president. So that means I get to be in direct line from Harry to me.
That is amazing. What's your reaction when you hear that?
Oh, I have to push it deep down inside, otherwise I get too nervous.
To be honest, I would too. So, what would you think if Harry Houdini was still alive about the magic that's scouring the world?
Well, I think he'd be fascinated with the fact that you can do such small tricks and be seen all over the world.
hmm
Houdini, in his time, was a master promoter.
hmm
And I wonder. I bet he would still be a master promoter today. He would have jumped early in on social media, and we'd probably still be talking about him today.
Yeah. So what's your reaction to seeing magic movies like Now You See Me, to doing magic in real life with real people?
Well, I like those. I like those movies. I
Hmm.
did. The only thing that was disappointing was that most of the or a lot of the magic that you saw in the film was CGI.
Hmm.
And it could have been more, shall we say, conventional. It could have been real practical effects, but they went the CGI route. So I don't know. I would have liked to have seen more real magic.
Okay. Well, John, would you like to play a game?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to do trivia or a Mike Time with Marty classic?
What's the classic?
Okay, so I give you three categories and you got to pick from one of those.
All right. Give me the categories.
Okay, so there's music, acting, or voice impressions.
Acting.
Okay, so this is called emotions, where I give you an emotion like happy, sad, angry, and a scenario, a typical scenario, and you just got to act it out using that emotion. So if I was to
Oh, okay.
say, um, you just got off stage doing a magic show, someone walks up to you, wants an autograph, but they want to pay you. Your emotion is like guilty, kind of, if you pick that. So we'll go backwards and forwards so it doesn't feel like I'm pressuring you into anything. So let's go with okay, you just finished doing a magic trick. A little kid comes up, shows you a magic trick, and he actually fools you. So your emotion is like, wow, this little kid has just fooled me in a magic trick.
Oh, hey, buddy. That was really great. Keep it up, and you'll have my job pretty soon. Uh, Man, I gotta go practice.
Probably the same as me. Um, all right, John, what's one for me?
I want you to be doing your radio show, and
Mhm.
then Michael Jackson. Yes, he is dead, but
Mhm.
he still walks in to your studio and sits down and expects you to start interviewing him immediately.
Okay, what's my emotion?
Oh, your emotion is shyness.
Oh, of course, I'd be shy if Michael Jackson walked in. Okay, all right. That was "Say You Want to Go" by James Arthur. Coming up, we've got some songs from Dua Lipa, Baby Rexha, and also the Bee Gees. But for now, here's Johnny Cash on 88.1 XFM. Come on. Hold on. Ugh. What do you do? Michael Jackson, you want an interview? Hold on. Let me just go splash myself with water first. That would probably be my honest reaction, or I'd be screaming, going, "Michael Jackson's in the studio." Everyone would think I'm insane. Okay, let's go with you go to a cafe, you order a coffee, but it's not as strong as you like it. Your emotion is angry.
Oh, oh, this coffee tastes like dirt. Um, but I am too afraid of confrontations, and I'll just get one next door.
Sounds about right. All right, last one.
Okay, you are in a grocery store. You're shopping for groceries,
Mhm.
and you go to the checkout counter, and the checkout counter is actually the prime minister.
Okay. Okay, I've got my apples, I've got my juice. Got that. Okay, cool. Hi, Miss Adu. What are you doing another segment with John or Ben? No, you lost your. Oh, who's Prime Minister now? Oh. Sorry? So, you mentioned that you like politics. I'm going to ask the question: who do you prefer, Donald Trump or Barack Obama?
I'm gonna go with Obama.
Obama? Okay, because the reason I mentioned voice impressions is because when I was doing radio, I had to do voice acting, and I can impersonate Donald Trump and Barack Obama and a few other characters. So, just sort of ask. Um, can you do any voice impressions?
Uh, not really. I basically do impressions of other people doing impressions.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could do uh, Walken. I could do Christopher Walken,
Mm-hmm.
but really it's just other people doing impressions of Christopher Walken. Wow, that trick was crazy. You're blowing my mind. Stuff like that.
Okay, so do you think you can impersonate me doing a Donald Trump?
Oh boy. Okay, well I'd have to hear yours first.
All right. Well, my fellow Americans, we're gonna be the world. It's gonna be amazing, that I can tell you.
It's gonna be amazing. I tell you, the greatest magicians in the world working for me, Donald Trump. It's gonna be huge.
Huge. So, what would your reaction be if you were asked to go to the White House and perform magic?
It would be an honor. I'd absolutely would do it. They do have magicians
Mm-hmm.
fairly regularly. The White House throws big parties for holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth of July is a big one. They'll have um, the Easter event at the White
Yeah.
House is a big deal, and so they will have many children participating in events and entertainment for those children. So. Uh, I know a few magicians and performers who have performed at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely possible.
So, do you ever think that you would perform on the likes of America's Got Talent or Penn and Teller Full Us?
I don't think I would. Just because, at least with the magic that I do, I don't really do any groundbreaking magic.
Hmm.
I like to do classical magic, and I hope that I do it in a contemporary enough way to be entertaining to my audience.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it would be different enough or fresh enough for shows like that.
Okay. Well, if you could come up with a TV show that symbolizes magic and music, what would you name it?
Boy. Um. Oh, hey, how about if I called it Tricky Notes?
Oh, okay. Kind of slides up, slides off the tongue. Hmm. Okay, this is going to be a segment where I just ask you weird questions. Why not? Favorite number,
13.
favorite letter,
M.
okay. Uh, favorite punctuation,
Ooh. The semicolon.
okay. Favorite Disney character.
Hmm. Well, you know what? They're owned by Disney now, so I'm gonna go with Homer Simpson.
Homer J. Simpson. Okay. What's your least favorite thing about coffee?
My least favorite thing about coffee, just I guess maybe grind when you grind the beans and you're not very careful, it can get a little messy, and then you gotta wipe them up.
Um, okay, what would you do if Homer Simpson wanted you to have one of his donuts?
Oh, First, I'd be wary that this was some sort of trick or trap.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say thank you and then scurry away before I ate it.
Yes. Okay. Um, glass or aluminium?
Glass.
Okay. Favorite energy drink?
Say again?
Favorite energy drink?
I don't drink energy drinks. I just don't. Coffee's the energy drink that I drink.
Yep. Okay. Um, brown sugar or white sugar?
Ooh. I'm going to go with brown and think of
Okay.
all the things I can bake with it.
Fair enough. Okay. Do you prefer the reflection of yourself or the reflection of you with cards in your hand?
I'm going to go with cards in my hand. They're at least somewhat distracting from
Yes.
my face.
Oh, okay. John, again, chance for redemption. You get to ask me some weird questions, and yeah.
Okay. So you said yourself that you're a magic fan.
Hmm.
You you dabble yourself. Is there a trick or routine that if you could do it, but you could do it for real, like it would be not be a trick, it would be real magic? What would it be?
Um, to be honest, I basically just like do card flourishes. The one trick that I can do is the human blockhead, where you can stick a 6-inch
Oh
nail
yes, but
up
that's
your.
real. That's not a trick.
That is real. Um, there have been some tricks that I've learned looking at books by like David Blaine and stuff. I've always wanted to do street magic, but then always been too nervous to do it. Like, what if I mess up? Or what if the person figures out the trick? So, yeah. Like, I don't know, tricks from Schindler, David Blaine, anyone. Any tricks that I'm able to learn, I will learn. Next question.
Let's see. What profession other than the one you're attempting would you most like to try?
Stand up comedian. Can you tell I'm trying to be funny? Next one.
Um, what job did you want to have when you were a little kid?
I wanted to be a musician, doing bass guitar, guitar, writing songs, dancing around. Yeah. One more question.
And what sort of um article of clothing do you most identify with?
Jeans. I don't know, just low pants, so no one can see my white pasty legs. Okay, John, I'm going to give you the chance to promote yourself. Instagram, TikTok, if you have it, let the people know what's going on.
Sure, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at John Sturk, JohnSturk. My You can follow my Facebook at John Sturk Official, where I talk about when I have shows for either music or magic shows coming up. I post them on there. Um, and also, if you're interested in learning magic, you can do it. We can actually teach you magic through the Society of American Magicians. Just go to magicsam.com. Doesn't matter who you are or where you live, inside the U.S., outside the U.S. We welcome the world. So just visit magicsam.com, and we'll see you there.
Okay, John, last question. If you could pick anyone to be on Mike Time with Marty, who would it be?
Anyone, huh? Well, first I'd say just to see the look on your face, Michael Jackson. But why don't we say, let's see, um, Angela Lansbury.
Oh,
Yeah, I loved her in Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
okay. Let's hope that happens. All right, John, what time is it for you right now?
We're coming up on 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
It is
About 20, yeah, about
8
20 to 2.
it's 8:40 in the morning. Ah. So
It's 8:40 in the morning tomorrow. It's Monday
yeah,
morning.
I'm
Yeah,
in the
it's Sunday
future.
afternoon here.
Oh god. So what are you doing for the afternoon slash
Well,
night?
I'm trying to preserve what's left of my weekend. I had just come back this week from the Society of American Magicians convention
Hmm.
in Las Vegas. I was there for about 6 days, interacting with magicians from all over the country and some from all over the world.
Hmm.
And we got to see a few of the Las Vegas stars drop by. But what that means is my pantry is pretty empty. So I need to go grocery shopping and replenish some supplies.
Okay, which Las Vegas magicians came to the convention?
Well, we had presentations from Jason England,
Hmm.
who the gambling expert. We had one from Colin Cloud, who performs with Shin Lim in his show Limitless. Uh, we had a couple of others come and drop by, even though they weren't, speaking.
Hmm.
Piff the Magic Dragon stopped by to visit folks. Jeff McBride was there. Matt King was there, and Rudy Kobe,
Oh, good
who's one
old
of my favorites.
Piff the
Also,
Magic
my friend
Dragon.
Bizarro was there. Helped put on some of the programs.
Bizarro.
Yeah, do you know Bizarro?
Yeah, he did magic with Justin Flom.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you learn something new every day. Oh wow. Okay, well, John, what you do is amazing. Do you have one last trick that you want to show us?
Uh, yeah, sure. Now this one's a bit of a classic. You know, every magician has their own origin story of
Hmm.
how they got interested in magic. Usually it's either I got a magic set for my birthday or for Christmas when I was a kid, or I saw a magician perform when I was a kid, and
Hmm.
that's what gave me the bug. And that's actually what happened to me. See, I saw a magician perform a trick with a bandana. He started shoving the bandana into his fist, and I thought he was going to make it disappear, but instead he snapped his fingers, and it came out his hand out the other side a completely different color. I thought this was amazing. This side goes in white, this side comes out red, and when it goes all the way through, it completely changes color. This trick fooled me bad. I thought about it for like 5 months. 5 months is what I thought about it. And finally, I was able to track down this magician and get him to share the secret with me. And the secret is a lot simpler than you'd expect. You actually have two handkerchiefs, right? Now, hear me out. Here's how you do it. You take the red handkerchief and you shove it in your fist like this. People will often suggest other places for you to shove it, but don't pay attention to them. And when you come out on stage, you have it palmed in this hand. Whatever you do, do not open this hand. Make sure you keep this hand closed. So when you come out to do the trick, you show the white one, you shove that into the fist, you squeeze, and it changes color out the other side. This goes all the way in, this comes all the way out, and it completely changes color. All right, I bobbled that one a little bit, but all right, there you have it.
All right. John, thank you so much for entertaining us. I hope you have an awesome rest of your night. And yeah, hopefully when you become big, rich, and famous, or even the next Harry Houdini, we can do another interview sometime.
Sure, happy to.
All right. Thank you so much, John.